Flight boss, bitch. For sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Terry's Moon. I am the Royal Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And this video right here is going to be about why does love hurt so bad? Let me repeat. Why does love hurt so bad? Because you might not get physically wounded, but whatever affects you mentally, aka your sons of God, aka is going to bend in as a light and on your daughters of men and go within you and motivate you to might take some actions in some way, shape, or form, and you can harm yourself physically. But for the most part, first and foremost, it just hurt in areas that may not even deal with physicality. So we know that anytime there's something, an enormous amount of energy or substance, right? The bigger it is, the more it play out as an influence that's impactful. And anytime something is impactful, it's heavy enough to hurt you spiritually. And your spirit ain't supposed to be able to feel, but for the most part, because it's no thing. But since we stay in a world where we have got lost into the Holy Ghost, holy light, we have start to believe our spirit is this form of information. So we got attached to it and don't want to let it go. So we feel that space, fulfill that parameter, and that what creates the terminology of a spirit that can actually feel once it believe it is that light, once it believe it is that vision. So once you dive so far into a belief, especially when it comes to love, you become attached to that as a spirit, and any shape and form that's attached to that love energy that start to separate, you're going to start to feel the impactful energy of it, aka felt like you got hit by an esoteric bus or some shit like that. Now you got the goddamn blues. So for the most part, here's the thing. This is how it even gets to those levels, and this is how you can also understand if someone truly love you or not in some way, shape, or form. Because here's the thing, there's a lot of things that can take place when both of you guys was developing an energy substance in some way, shape, or form. But the way you guys was aligning it was something that both of you guys cared for. So it made it real condensed in some way. So regardless of what negative interactions happen in that substance, both parties still is going to miss the circumstance and situation that helped build that first initial stage in the first place. You see what I'm saying? And that's when you could kind of look at someone and be like, all right, this person may actually really love the relationship or some way, shape, or form. Now, it takes two. Everything takes two, so keep that in mind also. All y'all individuals out there, don't stress yourself out. If you're the only one participating, that's when it's time for you to kind of leap and go somewhere else in some way, shape, or form. But for the most part, I'm just talking on a general scale. When two individuals may love each other, and when things may fall short, this is why love hurts. You know what I'm saying? But it may not hurt physically. So this little substance that you guys have created in some magnitude was a big ship, a big old ship that somebody has to take responsibility for, you know what I'm saying, in some way, shape, or form. Now, a lot of these times, here's the thing, when something is impactful as an influence, this is a building of substance, of virtues and principles you guys have built together. So that's more important than the physical world, because these are the things that manifest into the physical world. And if you built so much energy together and leave it unresponsible for, leave it untaken care of in some way, shape, or form, like it's unfinished business, then that can play out as sluggish energy for both parties in some way, shape, or form. And because there's something that need to be taken responsible for, and no one is taking responsibility for it in some way, shape, or form. So it's just like an energy that's getting ready to get manifested in the third dimension as a virtue and principle of being held back, always having to look back, always having to build regret, always having to do extra shit to get in your circumstance and situation, all the way into this circumstance get taken care of in some magnitude. And then that's going to be hurtful for both parties. That's almost like two individuals coming together, having 1,000 kids together, but shit just don't work. So then they get separated, and then the physical representations that y'all manifested was the physical children. So the physical explanation would be from this will be like, well, damn, I can't say my kid's a mistake or whatever like that, or I can't say that this person didn't mean something in my life or whatever like that. So that puts you into a situation where it's like, damn, you want to do things or come together for the sake of thinking it's the right thing to do, but based upon both parties, right, you might not be able to do that in some way, shape, or form. So there's an energy that's left untaken responsible for. You know what I'm saying? If that's even a term, y'all, I might not even say that shit right, but it sound good. It sound good. Untaken responsible for. That sound good. You know what I'm saying? It don't sound right as far as the Masons and logics how y'all into. It sound good to me right now. You know what I'm saying? So you don't judge me. But like I said, right, you know what I'm saying, that all that shit that's untaken care of in the third dimension, that's going to play out as y'all children hating y'all for not sticking together in some way, shape, or form, or building certain resentments and chips on their shoulders, or certain insecurities, aka inner security systems that they have built from the lack of the parents' relationship in order to maintain their life in some way, shape, or form, and making them think that this is forms of security level, where it really may make the relationships that they jump into a lot worse based upon the baggage that they carry. So we have to be very careful also on that energy. But this is another reason, that's the physical representation on how love can hurt, because a person that you once loved and then y'all developed all these responsibilities physically with, now you have to always go back and jump rope and shit like that with some fucked up ass energy in some way, shape, or form, based upon all that unfinished business that you guys have left vacant, and it had materialized physically, in this case, in this example, talking about the children. But for the most part, this could be any kind of terminology. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of y'all in college and shit like that, and you know what I'm saying, going through your first heartbreak or going through a breakup in some way, shape, or form, where one individual didn't want to do it but they had to, or other individual may have not been doing the right thing, or however the circumstance may play out, right? In order for you to even feel hurt from that situation, is because in the meantime, when you guys was on good terms, you have built a whole bunch of substance and energy in between that was beneficial in some way, shape, or form, and due to both individuals' actions within that, things may have taken course where now that energy y'all have built can't be taken responsible for. And now when something is not taken responsibility for in some way, shape, or form, that energy, all energy manifests in the third dimension. And since this is an energy that's built on, that's built on virtues and principles, right? It's going to manifest in that way. The virtues and principles in our lives, how we try to get from point A to point B, how we try to gain structure, how we try to sound intelligent, how we try to see our capabilities and incapabilities, how we try to obtain wisdom, how we try to communicate. All of that is going to, that substance is going to affect all of that we try to push out. And then what we try to push out is actually what we're trying to manifest in our lives. So we got some type of other shit that could kind of make what we're trying to push out and manifest in our lives a lot more sluggish, a lot more filtering systems to go through before we can fully be free into the thought and feeling of whatever we're trying to do in some way, shape, or form. Those are representations and examples of unfinished business. You see what I'm saying? So always keep that in mind. And the heavier it is, the more hurtful it is. And the more you're going to experience portals that you walk through that create experiences to remind your monkey ass that, yeah, there's some shit that you're leaving behind, or there's some shit that's unfinished that you ain't gonna be able to take too many more steps without motherfucking clearing that shit up in some way, shape, or form. So that's how the motherfucking shit hurt. And I mean, yeah, that's how fucking shit hurt when it comes to love, because it's like a tethering cord that's real strong that holds down both individuals, especially if you have like a nasty breakup or some shit like that. If you got like a real nasty breakup, you guys gotta make sure you untie that soul tie in some way, shape, or form, because just leaving it vacant is gonna be like circumstance. And what I mean by unbreak it, that don't mean just totally disregard. Actually coming to a conclusion where things could be smooth, aka now you got closure or some way, shape, or form, and you know this is what it is. For an example, that's like you having children with someone in some way, shape, or form, and then it just can't motherfucking work or whatever like that. Now, instead of it leaving it motherfucking vacant in some way, you guys come to an agreement or some type of closure or something like that. Therefore, you guys don't have to add anything else anymore, and that'll add a better environment for the children, because the children, y'all will reach a space where whatever y'all clashing about is not affecting the children in some way, shape, or form. You see what I'm saying? And that'll be the physical way I can explain it. How if y'all have already created something and it came physical as children, and you guys have to learn how to not leave unfinished business done. Because for the most part, leaving unfinished done will be one child in the other parent home talking all up and down and shit about the other parent, and then when that child is in the other home, that parent talking shit all about the other parent, or it might not even get that far. It might just be the child with one parent until they reach a certain age in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? Until they get 18. But It might just be that case. You know what I'm saying? But until you guys come, and I'm speaking about it physically right now, when it comes into the circumstance of you guys could come to a medium and untie whatever you guys got tied in a knot to make y'all guys that separate in some way, then you guys could come to a term and agreement, and things could be free for both of you guys' lives. AKA, it don't matter what partner both of you guys have. It won't be a problem because all you guys have settled your own untying. So you guys, all that unfinished business won't be a clutter. All that unfinished substance, impactful influence that could be hurtful in love won't be there. So both of you guys can have your own partners and things of that nature without that being affecting and things of that nature, and still share the children without any of the other stuff. So that's how you clear things up, and you guys are still free on your own paths without having to think about this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's unfinished business, one person gonna have their partner and be like, I can't bring you around when I got my child because this, that, and the third, they don't know who I'm with or whatever like that. So that's gonna cause another problem. You see all these filter systems you're gonna have to go through where all y'all had to do was untie that soul tie. And I'm speaking about it from the physical level. Now, once we get to the more powerful level, as basically what I'm talking about right now, how love hurts and it didn't get so physical, is that such the virtues and principles and things of that nature that have motherfucking built up, and that could be sluggish towards the circumstances and situations for both individuals to be free in some magnitude. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about being spiritual adults. Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. And that's why the motherfucking hurt. That's me, ooh shit. That's why love hurt so motherfucking much, because you just got hit with some impactful energy of unfinished business. And anytime there's some closure, there's both individuals coming to get their suitcases at the apartment and packing it up and agreeing that both ain't going to pay the bills, and both separating it and not leaving nothing in the apartment, and then someone else can move in that apartment in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure.